Welcome back, boys. 2013 Grand Caravan. Previous video, we did a grade A scumbag bypass, extra wires, fuse taps, a whole bit. Made the call on this little guy, the infamous TIPM. Let's see, do we got any information on here? We can't show anybody. I don't know. Anyways, we've got a new TIPM, new used. Hopefully it's good. Before we pull his out, we're gonna pop these connectors off. The salvage yard was so kind as to leave them on, but we're gonna pop them little guys off. We're also gonna have just kind of a look here, kind of glance through and see what things look like we're missing a 10 amp there that we have in here. So we'll figure that out. That's the classic M1. We'll get our glasses, see what that is, and just kind of look through the rest of these, make sure the fuse destinations appear to be similar to this, correct any that are not. And if you guys remember correctly, or if I remember correctly, this vehicle was brought in as a no crank, and this is, what was it? I think it was missing power on the control side of the relay, right? I don't know, because that was 3 weeks ago. I want to see if this part number is similar. Of course, I can't see it. This is our part number that we have here on the back of this one. So, anyhow, let's just quit running our mouth and do this. Like I mentioned, it's been a few weeks, and the customer's been happy. Apparently, it's been working correctly, so our jerry rig worked. If it was my car, it would be permanent, but it's a customer car, and we do not want the early onset amnesia setting in when there becomes a problem in the future, as it most certainly will. Because remember, no matter how good your customer is, they will always forget, and they will roll on you any chance they get, trust me. Been doing this long enough. Plus I'm a dad, I drink beer, and I know things. And that's what I know. That most people are about as loyal as a snake. I don't know what that means. Maybe snakes are really loyal. I've never had one. Okay. Here we go. Yeehaw. Maybe I'm just sour. Maybe I've been dealing with the public for too long. And I put everybody in the same category. Shouldn't though. Okay, all these pins look good. All right. So now I'm going to pause the camera. I'm going to go through the little rigmarole here of just kind of matching everything up and see what things look like, and just correct any problems that I see. So I'll be back in just a moment. So the only one I see that's missing is this 10 amp here, and that is M1, which is the Chisholm brake switch. So your collision high mounted stop lamp. I grabbed a 10 amper off my toolbox. And extra, you know what? If I grab it off the toolbox, I remember making sure thing's good. And it appears to be. So I'm going to stuff that in there, one way or another. It's in. We're going to get a 13 mil, pull that off, disconnect the battery, and pull this little guy out. Just had a visitor stop in, so I was chewing the fat while talking with him. This is the original 68 1639er 04 Alpha Charlie. 68 1639er 04 Alpha Charlie. This was made a little bit less than a month before that one. Part number, that's all the same. Okay, part number's same, serial number's different. Yeehaw. Make sure we're putting in the right one. We are. And now I'm gonna fiddle. These are color coded, you know, blue, green, brown, red, black, light blue, or gray, or something there. Anyhow, they're a little bit of a pisser. Probably could pull the battery, make it a tad bit easier. But we like to struggle. I'm gonna move you, stand over here, get this put back in. There's that. Yeah, we better clean that up a little bit. They give you just enough room to get this little guy off. We're gonna clean that up ever so slightly. Now, one thing you have to do after installing a TIPM is you have to do a configuration restore, I think is what Chrysler calls it, where we let the TIPM know the options for this VIN number. Easy, fella. And generally to do that, you have to use YTech. But I think I saw that option on one of the scan tools. Now, I could be wrong. My memory's just about as long as my little toe, which isn't very long, truth be told. Average, I suppose. But I'm pretty sure I saw that on a scan tool. So we're going to plug this in. It should start and run, if memory serves me right. Get that Christmas tree fastener back in on the bottom of this cable. Keep that car show quality there. Okay, that's wiggled back in. That's like it should be. And if our initial guess was correct, the car should crank on its own. But if we guessed incorrectly, the car will not crank on its own. Okay, stand by. Will the car crank on its own? $1 million question. Yes, sir. Lucky guess, huh? Even a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while. All right. Yeehaw. Okay. I think we may have mentioned in the first video that TIPMs can only have the VIN number written to them 2 times. Otherwise, you have to have a special program to erase the VIN. So I'm going to plug in a scan tool, see what options we have. So it must have been a Virgin module because we can see the old VIN number, the 5792, and then the top number, the current one, is correct for this vehicle. So that's a good start. I don't see the configuration restore here. We can read the configuration and you know, we can go through to see what this TIPM is configured with. I'm gonna have to do a little research. I'm pretty sure none of this changes when it changes just the VIN. And the problem could be, you know, whatever, you know, vehicle this came out of, the different options, it may not even have them turned on. Let me dig through this and see what we can figure out here. So although the Alltel does seem to have more options here under the advanced functions, it doesn't have that, you know, configuration restore, which I guess stands to reason because when you do this on YTech, you know, you got to, you know, pay for your subscriptions. It's going to go on Chrysler. It's going to get the VIN. It's going to see what sales codes this vehicle was built with initially and program that to, or change those settings there in the TIPM. Now, the only thing we can do with the Alltel and with the launch is add sales codes. Let's say, you know, we added a, you know, a third row DVD option to, you know, to this vehicle. We can go through and turn that option on, you know, in the TIPM and let the network know, like, hey, the sales code's been added. So that's kind of nice, but not going to bore you guys with that. I'll have to fire up the Y-Tech and let that go through and get updated. It's been a while, so I know it's going to be a while. And that's it. But mostly wanted to show this video to show that, you know, we did make the right guess. Our temporary bypass did work. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give this back to the customer, because even though it's, you know, broke, it still worked, and it's better than nothing if that one dies when you've got something to get you by. That was really rhymey. We'll leave it at that, and hopefully this is a good follow-up, give you guys some closure, in case you thought I was just a scumbag for doing that. But just helping this fella out. He was in a bad spot. Now he's in a good spot. So, all right, I get after it. Thanks for watching, guys. Insta, Facebook, all this stuff. I can do it. You can do it. You know how it goes. Thanks for watching.